Move over, Swanson. I'm driving.
Welcome back to the show that was once called the Caddyshack Minute and now has a new name that you can see on your podcast player, but we haven't thought up yet. Welcome to the time-warping nature of podcasting. My name is Tom Taylor, and I am here with Mike DeMaria.
That was terrible.
Well, that's jazz.
That was
we said it was going
terrible.
to be like Charlie Parker.
Oh,
But
you're hitting clams all over the place.
Yeah, that was all clams. That was all clams. It was all just improv. You're improving clams.
Yeah? What's wrong with
It's nothing but clams, and shave that beard.
Yeah, no beards in this band. So if you don't know what we're talking about, that's a little leaked tape of Buddy Rich chewing out his band between sets.
It's a classic.
We'll have to play that. Yeah, we'll look for that in the listener's hole or whatever it's called.
Right
now.
away.
Yeah, we'll start right off the bat.
Bam, with the references, with the links we're going to provide.
Yeah, we're going to
We're
provide
all
lots
Buddy
of
Rich
links.
when you fly off the handle.
Oh, he was a bastard. A1 bastard.
What a fuck that guy was.
What I tell you, shave that beard?
Did you ever see the one of him on, I can't remember, it might be the Dick Cavett show or one of those shows, where he's just like railing on country music, and he's like, oh, if you want to play, if you want to listen to idiotic music that has nothing to it, if you want to be a moron, it's music for morons, and he goes on and on about it forever. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to hear that.
Yeah. Put it up.
That's something I can get behind. Oh, Dan Lewis is here too, by the way, before we get too much further into this.
Let me tell you
Welcome,
something.
Dan.
This is professional podcasting right here.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have a name yet. Haven't just talking about random bullshit right from the starting gun.
We have the beginnings of a mission statement, but it's covered in belches.
Yeah.
So yeah, the three of us, as you know, all you faithful listeners, we covered Caddyshack 1 minute at a time, and that was fantastic. That changed the world, set the world on fire, and then put it out again.
Took us over a year.
Yeah. We decided that was ridiculous. Let's not ever do that again. But we do want to keep
First of all, wait a minute.
talking
You know
about
what? Let me just go off. I never said that. I could get right back on the minute by minute horse, but
yeah, we could.
It was not ridiculous, Tom.
No, it wasn't ridiculous at all. I take umbrage with that.
I thought it was great. I'm as we speak, I'm re-listening to the entire show, and I'm loving it. Caddyshack Minute is a fantastic show. It will live forever, but now it is taking a slightly different form because we're done with. There's no more Caddyshack.
Yeah, but let's take a minute here, as you were doing, and just plug the show. To plug our own show.
Yes,
that's certainly bad form to plug your own show. But
I
folks,
think that's
we created
the sincerest
something great.
form of plugging.
We don't even know if this one's going to be good at all. We don't even have a name for it yet.
No.
But we do know that the Caddyshack Minute was solid gold.
Yes, solid gold.
Like the TV show.
Yeah, solid gold. But now it's the holiday season, so that means that we would love to do a movie that we've referenced over and over again during the Caddyshack Minute, A Christmas Story. And we're going to do it, at a slightly different format. We're not doing it minute by minute. We're doing it in like chunks over a handful of episodes, and it'll take us through the holiday season together, where we'll feel the warmth and love of shooting your eye out. And it's going to be glorious. And you're going to come along with us.
Or the melancholy and sadness and loneliness that some of us feel at Christmas time.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. It'll be we'll be blinded by Lifebuoy. We'll be disappointed by mass communications and mass media.
Mass communication.
We won't be able to move our arms. We'll get beaten up and beat up a bully.
There is one line in this movie that always rang like just like a bell to me. Very true. It rang very true to me. Do you think? Can you think of that line? The line that the storyteller says.
Son of a bitch.
Is it?
No.
Is it? No. Let me ask you this, Mike.
Wait, I'm going to tell you because every time I've said this,
no.
you guys have nailed. You guys have always gotten when I've thrown it out there. Like, do you know what quote I'm thinking of? You guys have always nailed
Stripes.
it. So no, it's not Stripes.
It's always from the movie Stripes.
Making a lot of friends here, Winger. Yeah.
When Mike
Thanks
ate a lot of
says,
pizza.
"What's that from?" You know it's from Stripes.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Winger. Thanks a lot.
It's like
Thanks
if
a
you.
lot,
It's like if you're
asshole.
watching. It's like if you're playing Trivial Pursuit and you know that the question starts, "What jockey?" and you know it's Willie Shoemaker. You don't even need to finish the question.
Yeah, it's like just rifling through a Scantron test. Everything's C.
Yeah. See.
Yeah. What two fruits? And you know it's Statler and Waldorf, and you just go on.
Waldorf salad. All right. What's the line that you think I identify with the most in this movie?
Oh my God.
Mike, I got it. That's this line is full of great lines.
No,
This movie.
but it rings true to my demeanor, to my state of mind most of the time. It'd be like a line out of my own diary.
Now you get yours.
No.
No.
Crummy
A
commercial.
crummy commercial?
No,
Crummy
it's not that
commercial.
one.
Oh.
Is it when he's fixing the furnace by any chance?
No.
Oh.
No.
Monday Noodle?
No. I don't like, no. No, I don't go with all the obvious ones. This is one that it was like a voice in my own head.
Not
Okay.
a finger.
Not a finger. Sons of bitches. Puppy says.
We've already just covered the whole movie, so are we done now?
Are there any other
Is it
lines
my
in the
favorite
movie?
line about how my father wove a tapestry of profanity that,
No, again,
that as far as we
again,
know, is still
no.
hanging in space over Lake Michigan?
No, see, that's the obvious.
I'm gonna get mad at myself when you say it because I know it has come up and I know we have
No,
nailed
it has never gone.
Let's not
come
do
up.
it now, Mike. Just keep it a secret for now. And then when we come across it, we might go, is that it?
Wait, you're saying it's never come up?
Never come up in our
thought you-
discussions.
I thought you just said
No.
that every time you bring it up.
No, I said
We nail
it's
it.
no.
He
I
means
said
every time he says what line is my favorite, we always know what he's about to say.
yeah.
That's
Oh.
what he means.
You've done it in the other movies when I brought
Oh,
up a
for
movie.
other movies, I
Yes.
see. Okay.
This one
I'm
you won't
sorry.
get though because it's so. I heard it in the movie and maybe it's not even in the movie. I just imagined it
No.
because it makes complete sense to me and I said yeah that makes sense.
Right.
Oh, is it when Ralphie goes, "You're a good man, Mike DiMaria"?
Yeah.
Is it that part?
Play it again,
No.
Sam.
Beat me up, Scotty.
No, and that's Charlie Brown.
Oh.
You're a good man, Charlie Brown.
All right. Well,
No.
we're just going to have to. This is riveting. Well, we're just going to have to
You
come
know what,
across
see-
it later.
I thought I wanted to listen to A Christmas Story before.
And it's
now
not-
I got the added suspense of
don't
finding
know.
out what
And
Mike's
it's not
favorite
be sure
line
to drink
is.
your Ovaltine.
I don't want you to tell me that I'll shoot my eye out
No.
because I'm a kid.
I'm just going to say
Jeez,
it.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
All right, say it.
I can feel the Christmas noose beginning to tighten.
Oh, that's right.
Oh
Yeah,
my
that's a good one.
God.
And I said, you know
Christmas
what?
Is that
Noose.
actually in the movie?
Yes.
When is he? Who says that? When does he say
He
it?
says it in his head. He says it when he's sitting there at the table trying to figure out how to interject that he wants the BB gun.
Wow.
And he's trying to not blurt it out, but he said, I can feel the Christmas noose beginning to tighten.
Yeah, that's
Oh my
terrific. Yeah.
God.
The two words that should
that's-
never be involved with one another is Christmas noose.
Christmas news.
Christmas noose is great.
But as
Wow.
I've sat there in
Sounds like
therapy
Dr.
many
Seuss.
times, and I've tried to rewire myself and try to, rewire my way of thinking. It's stuff like that stays with me. Christmas noose. I can feel the Christmas noose beginning to tighten.
Wow.
Merry Christmas.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
So what was your Christmas noose?
I don't-
Was it just the
it's
stress
not-
of the holidays? The
Well, we'll get to it. No, we'll get to it. We'll
All
get to
right,
it.
all right.
We got a lot of time, and there might be some photos and maybe some video clips
Oh.
I can find of Christmas past where you can see.
say with Skeletor.
Oh,
No, this will be just a
Was
Christmas.
that Return of the Black Wizard? What was that?
You just said it. Return of the Black Wizard.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't
That was a good
that.
movie. I saw that.
No.
A Mike DiMaria joint.
Did you see it?
I did. You showed it to me ages ago.
I don't know where it is. I got to find it. That's
better.
that's one that shouldn't be lost. I've got to find
one
that
for the
one and
ages.
put it in a time capsule.
you guys done?
That's right.
Yeah, let's start going. Let's get
We'll
this
never
thing
be done.
going.
All right. A Christmas Story.
Mm-hmm.
Directed by Bob Clark. Do you guys know Bob Clark? He's got one of the weirdest, coolest resumes of any director. He directed A Christmas Story, Black Christmas, the original horror movie from the 70s,
Okay.
Porky's,
Is that like
and
one of those?
Porky's
Is that
2.
one of those black exploitation films?
No.
Like-
it's a
like-
horror
like-
movie.
like Blackula?
It's credited as being one of the first slasher movies.
It's slash exploitation.
It's a slash-ploitation. Yeah, there's a slasher, and they just don't even treat him like an actual human being. They just, it's all stereotypes of the slasher, and it's a little hard to watch these days now that slashers are more integrated into society, and we're a little embarrassed by our past. But no, it's got like Margot Kidder and what's her name, Olivia Hussey and everything, and it's sorority girls and a house and the slasher and stuff. And it's an awesome movie, and it's one of Steve Martin's favorite movies, and it's really good. And this guy Bob Clark did that and A Christmas Story and Porky's.
Oh,
and
wow.
some other stuff.
Now,
incredible,
is Porky's the one with they cut the hole in the bottom of the popcorn at the movies that we've talked about before?
You've referenced that a lot, and I know they do that in Diner, but I don't know if they do that in Porky's.
It's not. No, you're
it
right.
Is Diner.
It's Diner, not Porky's. All right, then.
Porky's has a famous hole in the shower.
Yeah, the gym teacher was looking through it.
Right.
And what's his name? Our buddy, Jesus, D'Annunzio.
Oh,
Tony D'Annunzio's
Scott
in that movie.
Columbine.
Yeah. So it's just 2 degrees of separation between Caddyshack and A Christmas Story.
That would be 1 degree.
Which is why we're doing it.
It's
So
Scott
what?
Columbine. You're saying because Bob Clark.
Yeah, I forgot what town is this supposed to take? Is this Hammond, Indiana? Do you remember what it was?
I think he says Hammond. Yeah, I couldn't quite tell what he says it right at the beginning.
This is downtown, but it's like a
Downtown
it's a bad
Cleveland.
audio.
Well, no, it's Cleveland Street he lives on.
Cleveland Street, yeah.
But that town, that Higbee's and everything, that's Cleveland. That's Cleveland, Ohio, where they filmed it. But it's not. It's supposed to be like
it's supposed
Indiana.
to be. It's Hammond, because it's either Hammond or Gary.
I gotta tell you, it
up.
reminds me so much of, I don't know, just the feel of it is like where I grew up. It just has that feel to it in my head.
Berkeley?
Well, I don't know. It's just like the feel of it. I can't even explain it. He's just like, oh, it was exciting.
You grew up
just
in
the
Berkeley,
look of
right?
like those houses just covered in snow, and I miss it and I love it.
Well, that's Midwest.
Yeah, it just that's what I guess I'm clumsily trying to say here is that it's Midwestern. You can tell it's Midwestern.
Yeah.
There's a feel to that with the Midwestern.
Yeah. Anybody with Midwestern parents, they know that they went berserk for this movie. And they couldn't get over how spot on it was.
Right.
Like my Midwestern parents. They couldn't handle it. Especially since it was filmed in Cleveland, where they were both from. Well,
Tom's from the East Coast. He just doesn't get it.
What was the name of the department store? Not Gimbal.
You just don't get it.
Higbee's?
Higbee's,
okay.
Yeah.
Bacchanalia.
And watching this opening shot, it's actually not the opening shot. I always forget this. It's like a shot of them like running across the street, like in the daytime, like just the kids in their neighborhood. But then it goes right to the downtown, not Cleveland, Higbee's. And I see this and I go, boy, I could never, ever, ever make a movie. I could never make a period piece film where you have to replace every car with a period car and dress everybody up in period outfits and all the stores and everything. What a pain in the ass. Oh my God. Don't ever let me try to do that because I would just kill myself.
Well, you're not going to do it because you're not going to do anything like that. You're not going to have the...
No, I'm stuck here in the Einstein Brothers bagels. Yeah. Just sipping coffee. It is endless coffee. It's free refills. You get that going for you. But other than that, it's just bagels. And looking at Mike across the table. Are we supposed to be doing something, Mike?
Tom used to live over there in Malden Street up in Uptown.
Yeah.
Up by like the Green Mill up here in Chicago.
You hated that place, but I liked it.
No, I liked the apartment.
Oh, okay.
He had like this, the entryway had like this grand ballroom feel. Like it was from like...
from The Shining.
From The Shining. It felt like you're walking into the grand ballroom. And then you would, just in the foyer room. And then you go up to this little shitty apartment up there. And that was the apartment where he had, what'd you have there? Son of a bitch had Star Wars figures and stacked on every table. This is when he was by himself.
Yeah. Like you would play the game where you would just, let's see if we can look in a direction and not see Star Wars stuff.
No, that was a lost cause. What I would do is I'd stand in the middle of the room. And I said, look at this, because it was a little tiny apartment. Was it a studio?
No, not that one.
No, you had a one bedroom.
Where was this located again?
In Uptown.
Okay.
It's like on the Wilson stop on the Red Line.
Oh, Wilson. Yeah. I was gonna say, like, Chicago is the absolute king of cities with big, majestic-looking entryways that are leading to tiny, shitty apartments that no one likes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Murphy beds in them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how this one was. And he'd stand there, and I would say, "What is this, and who are you? You know, what kind of a maniac are you? That you're this tall goon that has nothing but Star Wars figurines everywhere."
Arrested Development, right?
Yeah, but then I said, "Look," I said I would extend my arms out on either side, and I said, "If I spin around, I could stand anywhere in your apartment, spin around, and my hands are going to hit a fucking Star Wars figurine."
Don't leave him alone.
And I would go over there. I would go over there and I go, "What the hell are you doing today?" And I would just stop over there and I would say that, "What the hell are you doing today?" And he's like, "I'm doing an experiment." I go, "What are you doing?" I go, "First of all, the experiment is that I can't rotate without hitting a fucking figurine. But what's going on and why is your stove on?" He goes, "What I did today is I bought a pint of cookie dough ice cream and I let the ice cream melt and took all the cookie dough. And then I wanted to bake a cookie out of the cookie dough." And he goes, "And guess what? It didn't bake."
Yeah.
It was a very soggy, drippy, not quite cohesive cookie.
Because they didn't put eggs in it because they don't want people to get sick because it's like raw eggs.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be raw, refrigerated, frozen egg in there.
At this time, he's 30 years old, I think.
I think I brought that to a party. I showed off how cool I was because I brought it to a party. I brought like the unconstituted cookie dough from the ice cream to a party. So hey, stop the party, turn on the oven.
Look at this. But then he's trying to, you know, and he's sitting there, and it's like a Saturday afternoon, and he's baking this cookie in there. And he goes, "It didn't come out very well." And he goes, "It's very interesting." He's making some notes on his clipboard.
Those big clear, dry erase boards.
And he's like, check out, this is something else I made. And I go, "Okay." I came over there, he turned his computer on. And then he had like a lightsaber fight from one of the Star Wars movies, but he spliced it with a porno. So it would go from, it would be like split second, back and forth, awesome. Back and forth.
Oh
You'd be watching this. And he's like, "This is amazing." I'm like, "I gotta go."
But it was it was like every other frame. So it was like this crazy rotoscope, like you were kind of seeing both things at once. And I was very proud of it.
Tom, what's the matter with you, man?
I was lonely.
I'm seeing both things at once, and I don't like either one of them.
I love that he says, "I was lonely," as if it's just the solution and not the cause of that problem.
Yeah.
I wasn't making any kind of evaluation of the situation. I was just, that was my understanding of it.
Right.
I'm going to bake the cookie dough, and then after the cookie dough, I'm going to bake the Red Guard, and after the Red Guard, I'm going to bake Admiral Akbar, and he's going to melt in there, and I'm going to taste
after I do that, I'm going to murder my neighbor.
Yeah.
Then I'll have friends.
Exactly. Tom's exactly the guy who's going to chop up his neighbor and just be whistling the whole time.
Yeah.
But on your Earl Grey bonnet with your blue.
Better go slow.
Better go slow.
Oh, what a mental case, man.
But anyway, so he was living
You
up there.
make it sound so weird, Mike.
He was living there up in Uptown, and I wasn't that much farther down on Lawrence. I was like in Lincoln Square. But that's when we were saying, you were talking about the period movies, and that's where they were shooting Road to Perdition.
Right.
They were shooting it in that neighborhood, and you were talking about the old Studebakers and those. But they were shooting them, the cars they had lining the street on was it Broadway? Yeah, I think it's Broadway. But they were all they were to scale, so they're these little tiny cars. Mm-hmm. So they would have the street.
Really?
Yeah, they had the street lined with all these old cars from the 30s, but they were all half the size because they were shooting. I don't know what they were doing, but they were shooting so that they wanted everything had to be to scale.
Oh, so it would look like they had taken over more of the street by having more cars going way down the street, but they're actually just smaller cars closer up or something?
Yeah, I don't know how it was, but
crazy.
they were doing something like that. And I'm like, "Oh, look at that."
Wow.
And I go, "Tom lives over here, and he's baking fucking bakeless cookies that are cookies from cookie dough ice cream."
Bakeless cookies. Yeah. You all wanted to try it.
No.
You know you did. I was the only one with the guts to actually try it.
So the Higbee's window.
Yeah, Higbee's window.
You know what?
Now these kids are pressing their noses against the window.
I love that.
Looking at sleds and trains and I don't know, Raggedy Ann dolls. Yeah. And I guess that's what would have worked in the 40s.
Right. And Red Ryder with some Indian kid.
Yeah. Some Indian sidekick or something.
He's just looking right at those kids and he's saying, "It's all yours, little Beaver."
What did
just
you call me?
it's kind of creepy, and I don't know
Little
if he's
Beaver.
but if you look at that, he's looking, and the little Indian boy's there, like with a big grin on his face.
Oh my God.
And I know I was saying Indian; it's not a very correct thing to say, but I think that's what they would have called him in these times.
Yeah. The people in the film would have understood you completely.
He's saying it's all yours, little Beaver. ...
Wait, is he talking to
No, it's in the.
me
It's
pressing my nose against the window, or is he
Yes.
talking to the engine kid?
I don't know. It could be either one, and it's
Wow.
just in the little thought bubble, or
Yeah.
the dialogue bubble. It says, "All yours, little Beaver. This
Yeah.
200 shot range model air rifle is just like the one I used in my range wars, chasing rustlers and bad guys." This could be right from a gay porn.
Right. You think those
You don't know that it's not.
$10 says those chaps aren't assful.
Not that there's anything wrong with it. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I'm not saying
No,
that.
They're not
nobody
full
said
ass
that. It's
chaps.
just, you know.
And the little engine boy is shirtless and he's got a big grin on his face.
I never noticed the little. I'm still waiting to. I'm watching the scene, but
It's at the 3 minute and 53 second mark.
Oh, I'm almost there. I'm at 3:06. I'm watching trains and radio.
Just like the
flyers.
one I used in my range wars, chasing rustlers and bad guys.
Now, when you were a kid, did you ever, like, literally or otherwise, press your nose against it? Like, was there a toy or a set of toys where you were like, "Oh my God, if I could just get
many
that for
times.
Christmas"?
Many
Bike
times.
shops,
Oh
This
yeah.
movie-
bike shops.
Yeah, bike shop, yeah.
Mr.
Gordon
Gordon Jumps. I was gonna say.
Yeah, careful
No,
with
no.
bike shop.
I've many times, this movie really captures that covetousness, you know. That
Yeah.
you get, yeah.
So, speaking as a child of the 80s, late
Yeah.
70s, early 80s, remember when BMX was king back in the days?
Yeah.
And you either had two bikes you could choose from. What were the two bikes? The two
Huffy?
brands. No. If you were gonna go
Oh.
the BMX route,
You talking BMX?
BMX.
Now,
So
what
because-
year are
because
we
we would
talking here? Because I was a racer.
Right, I was too, because we would go to those tracks.
Waterford?
We had the one at the Waterford track. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one of the ones I
What-
went to.
What?
But you rode one of two brands.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to it though, but there was a couple
Okay.
different eras. What age are we talking here?
Okay, so I was born in 1973, so carry the two. I would say give myself at least 10 years. So that was 1983. Tigers won the World Series in
83's a little-
1984.
Okay, Champ Summers.
I'm looking up Star Wars porn
We
on my phone
almost
there.
we almost had a nuclear obliteration in 1983.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that?
Well, I mean, I feel like that was a regular thing. You know,
No,
back
there
then.
was the man who saved the world. Was a Russian. Was a guy who was monitoring the satellites, and there was a blip on the satellite that showed like 4 missiles launched from the United States, and he was supposed to react, but he thought, they were going to attack us. They wouldn't just attack us with 4, so he waited.
Wow.
That was 1983. So if he would have pushed the
war
button,
games.
right? But if he would have pushed the button, Dan, Tigers would have never won the World Series the next year.
Right.
So 1984, I'm 11 years old, so I would add maybe 2 more years to that. I would say 1985. Let's just say that.
All right, so I'm gonna go for that. I'm gonna go maybe a red line or
Okay, that's one.
possibly
Perfect.
a mongoose.
Bam! He nailed it.
Wow.
You had to choose. You chose from one of those two.
Yeah,
Wait, the mongoose and what was the other one?
The mongoose,
the mongoose and the red line.
red line.
The red line was
Red line.
fancier, a cooler bike in my opinion.
Yeah,
Back in those days.
it was more metallic and had like red accoutrements.
sweet ass
and the mo-
bike. That red line.
And which one did you ride?
I didn't have either. I had a Robinson. Very nice bike,
Okay.
a Robinson. Then I had a free agent. That's a sweet ass bike.
The mongoose.
I still get a little like douche chill when I think about that bike. Like, it's like my model air rifle with the 3-piece cranks and the sweet.
Yeah. Well, that's what it was.
handlebars.
Yeah, and you had the double neck, the double
neck.
gooseneck. Yeah, the double gooseneck.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And I
you
had my
the,
number plate on the front and take home like a 4-foot trophy for like third
nice.
place.
Yeah,
I had a number plate on my bike, but I was in no way
Zero.
yeah. You were in no
racer.
shape. Dave. Yeah, you were in no
It was a
shape.
big fat goose egg.
Yeah, used to take those berms like a champ.
Yeah.
Ask me, I'm 0.
Some people would go up high, some people would go down low, right? On the berms.
Yeah, you can go up high, you can go up low. It depends on what you want to do.
Depends if you wanted to take
Liable
somebody.
approach.
Yeah, if you needed to pass someone, you went up high.
Yeah, or with the
Tried to
double jump,
overtake them.
you either sort of rode it in that smooth way, or you try to just do the full jump in the air, save a little time that way.
Then there was that indoor one. Where was the indoor one? Was that Waterford? And you'd go there, and we were the younger guys, but then the older Heschers were there. And there was always fights going on, too. That's where, like, the first fights would start.
Yeah, it was like everybody was from Bad News Bears, hanging out doing that.
Bunch of Kelly Leaks running around.
Bunch of Kelly Leaks and a bunch of Tanners, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all feral kids just running around.
Yeah, the kids with, like, no shirt and the dusty blonde hair, just, like,
Boogery
walking around
moron.
with that tan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you'd go... and you'd hitch a ride to get out there, and then you'd do one race, and you'd wipe out, and they'd have to go home or something.
Yep. That's my 7-Up dickweed.
You owe me 50 cents for that burrito.
Yeah.
We should do that movie.
I love that. I had my youngest memory of this is first it was He-Man. I needed to have the He-Man castle.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted all the cool He-Man characters. I loved them. And I had many like that. Of course, later it was the Nintendo, the first one, the NES.
Oh, sure. What was okay, you guys are probably expecting me to say that Star Wars are the Star Wars figures, that I was drooling over those.
Yeah,
and of course I was.
Stuff. Yeah.
But before that, like the year before Star Wars came out, it's still the most magical toy in the world to me was the $6 million man doll that I had.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
And I went through a couple of them because the legs kept breaking off. But they, you could look through his eye and it looked like you were seeing far away or something.
Yeah.
And he had like the rubber skin on his arm that you would roll up, and then there'd be like these little bricks of computer circuitry and stuff that you could take out and everything. And oh my God, it blew me away. I had the rocket ship that also doubled as like a medical bay thing. Oh my God, it was fantastic.
That's
and
cool.
Maskatron, he had like the Oscar Goldman mask, and he had the Steve Austin mask, and just the generic bad guy mask. And oh my God,
did you make the noise when
toys.
When he did stuff?
Of course, yeah. But I wasn't good at it.
Oh,
I'm still not good at it. But no.
Well, I
can't do it as well as Chevy Chase.
To be perfectly honest, I had the Millennium Falcon, which was really a fantastic toy.
That was a fantastic toy.
Just a great, highly detailed. They don't make them like that anymore. They get a piece of crap now if you get that.
Yeah. It was great because it was like a play set and a ship. Like you could fly it around, but it was also like a thing where you could just sit it on the floor and the guys were like hanging out in there and doing stuff.
Yep. Extremely well made too. If they made that now, it would cost $800 to buy it.
I
think they were handmade in Florence or something. It's different
Artisans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That and the Death Star playset were maybe the greatest gifts I ever got.
Great stuff, man.
But going back to the bikes, you remember right after a rain, it would rain outside. You'd all grab the bikes and go out in the subdivision. I lived in an apartment complex, Hunter's Ridge. It was right next to Wing Hong's, where I used to get the chicken later on in life.
Right.
But I grew up right near there, and Hunter's Ridge. But you would take the bikes out there on one of those long driveways, and you would do the skid contest. You remember?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Right after a rain, so you would go as fast as you can, and you would do a peel out skid.
Yeah.
And you would leave that big long mark, and you would see who could have the longest skid. But you would you'd be leaning over, and eventually like your shoe would catch or something, and then you'd just go flying. It was a disaster.
Yep. We did that. We did for bunny hops too, and I was constantly just crashing. It's stuff I would never even I wouldn't even think about doing now.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even get like into the shower without thinking about injuring myself anymore.
I went to the doctor today to have my ankle looked at that I twisted badly about 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And
I remember that. I remember you did that. Same time I popped my hamstring.
Ugh.
Remember that? We did it in the same days.
Did the doctor tell you what he told me and also told Louis C.K. in his special, where it's just like your ankle's just no good anymore? It's just
do these now. These exercises, you do them. He's like, well, so it'll get better. He's like, no, you just do them now.
No, you just do them.
It's something you do.
Until
both you and your
stave off the inevitable.
Until both you and your shitty ankle both die.
Yeah, right. That was what it was like
That's
for me. I
about
had
the
an
size of it.
identical conversation with my doctor. He just said, this is, it's just kind of bad
you do
now.
now.
You just kind of got a
This is
bad
what you
end.
have to
Do
look
it.
forward to.
Yeah.
It was like he just
Sorry.
watched the Louis special and was messing with me.
Perhaps he was. Perhaps he was.
Now you go to the Toys R Us now, and they have that whole line of those chargeable cars. Remember,
Oh yeah.
like the big cars that you just charge up and you can drive around. Now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me that they had those when we were kids.
Yeah.
We had the one. I had the Chips motorcycle,
Ooh.
and you would charge it up
Oh, that's
all
cool.
night. But you'd charge it all night, and you'd get on it, and it would drive like really slow for like 3.5 minutes. Then you have
Yeah.
to charge it again overnight. But it would just get you down to the bottom of the driveway.
Yeah.
But those
Hooray.
like minute and a half that's you're riding it and the theme song is just playing in your head
Yeah.
and the wind is
magic.
blowing in your hair, but then it just dies out.
I love that
And now
child car technology was ahead of the internal combustion engine technology of adult cars at the time.
Yeah.
And now we've normalized to the charging again.
They've pushed they held back the electric car, but not in toy form.
Right. I think
Right.
that the kids' cars now are using hydrogen fuel cell technology.
We
Yeah.
do.
We'll get there. We'll
Yeah.
get there.
We do.
Once the
Who
kids are done with
holds
them.
back the electric car?
Who made Steve Gutenberg
Gutenberg
a star? We do.
We do.
Who rigs
we
every
do.
Oscar night? We do.
Patrick
Now
Stewart
think
was in
about
one.
that. Now, so in the early '80s, you had those electric toy cars, right? Those big bastard things with those big batteries. Every single fucking one of those is in a fucking landfill somewhere now.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
That's true.
Millions, just millions, and every year, every day, more are made and more are thrown away.
You
I
can
don't
say
know,
that about almost every product that's ever been invented.
Well, I just think I feel like that's pretty pessimistic. Like, I like to think about mine, love it, like sort of having a good time floating around in the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
You know,
went to
bobbing
Kid Car
up
heaven.
and down.
Well, now you
Yeah.
start to get a little more insight into. I'm starting to feel the Christmas noose tightening.
What am I going to get this year that I'm going to throw away someday and be part of the problem?
No. Oh no!
Oh no.
No!
Oh, no. Hey, speaking of oh no, we got our hero Ralphie with his nose pressed up against the thing, dreaming about the Red Ryder BB gun.
He loves it.
Hey,
He loves it.
he's the little beaver.
He's perfect for this movie.
Yeah.
Perfect.
He wants to be the little beaver. And he and
Yeah.
his brother wake up. It's time for school. They beat each other up in their room, try to get downstairs first for some reason.
Yeah.
I cannot remember. What's the brother's name?
Randy?
Randy, of course. Randy. Oh, and Ralphie goes to his parents' room to like stash a Red Ryder ad in his mom's magazine.
Yeah.
And there's 2 beds in there.
Yeah, that's the way.
Was
it
that
used
like
to
an
be.
actual thing? I thought that was just like something they did on the Dick Van Dyke Show and
No,
stuff.
that was an actual thing.
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
That was a
mom
real
and ma and pa. Night, ma.
Wow.
Night, pa. And they slept in
Well,
separate beds.
what's the thinking behind that? Was it just
You know
like-
what? It might be one of those things we now misunderstand because we think it was so puritanical. But it might
Yeah.
be, now, if I might be a little bit racy about this, it might be the hotel situation, and you go with your significant other to a hotel, you got one bed for you-know-what, and then you go to sleep in the other one.
Oh, except they're both singles though. They're like
Yeah,
twin
that's-
beds.
yeah,
It's like
that
a
doesn't
kid's
work.
room.
No, okay. I'm just saying, it's one of those things that a lot of times these people were, they were banging just like everyone else. Who knows?
Did Lucy and Ricky have separate beds? They must have.
Lucy
Yeah,
and
I'm
Ricky
sure they
did.
did.
I
Everybody
think the
did.
first wasn't famously the first one in sitcoms. The Brady Bunch bed was the first time that it showed 2 people in bed together.
Oh, you're kidding, really?
I remember reading that the Brady Bunch really broke the
Wow.
mold with that. Yeah.
Well,
they
they ended
definitely
it.
were in the same bed.
And,
But I
because
didn't know were the
because
first ones.
they ended every episode by recapping their day in bed.
Yeah.
I can't believe Greg did that. Those stains are never going to come out. Well, he learned his lesson.
Yeah.
Good night. I'll turn off this yellow light, and then they'll turn on the blue light, and then we'll go to sleep.
Right. It was a groundbreaking show
Good
in
night.
that way, but I hated that show. I don't like that show, The Brady Bunch. I thought it was lame, even when I
I
was a
feel
kid.
like, our generation is supposed to love that show, and I did. I grew up loving that show. The weird thing is,
It's really dumb.
I grew up loving it. It was super dumb, like in in every sitcom way and everything, but also kind of infuriating in other ways. But I don't think I could name like the plots of like maybe 5 episodes. I think I could name 5, and that's it.
I like the football hitting Marsha in the face, and then
That's always
the
good.
one where she invents George Glass, the guy, because you mentioned
Peter
it,
has
the only
2
reason-
dates.
The only reason I remember is that she saw the glass and said George Glass, a precursor to the usual suspects' use of Kobayashi.
That's wait, we did this entire thing on our last episode.
We did.
Yeah, we're not running out of material.
We're spinning
Yeah.
our wheels.
First episode, we run out of material.
Yeah.
What happens in this movie? Jesus Christ! Here's the thing: I haven't watched the movie, and I'm not going to watch it for a while.
But you know them. Well, you've said publicly that you're not into watching Christmas stuff outside of Christmas.
I have this thing. I have this playlist of songs that I start to listen to around Christmas time. I'm into Christmas. Okay, I like
Sure.
Christmas.
Me
I
too.
embrace it. I do think the materialistic. I get all those complaints. I get that. And I do get annoyed when you go into Home Depot on like August 23rd and there's a bunch of Christmas stuff. It annoys me a little bit there. But in general, I don't mind that there's a bunch of like Christmas stuff out and happening, and it's like you hear the carols when you go into stores and all. I don't mind any of that. And
Yeah.
in fact, I kind of like it. And
a big
especially
teddy
now
bear.
that I live in the Bay Area and there's no snow and it's the worst This is the worst Christmas place in the world. It goes like seriously. It goes like Bay Area and then like Tel Aviv is the next Christmassy place, right? But like it's just like it's not that fun. So I just sort of
Yeah.
look forward to it. So I have all these songs I've collected. It's like the Ramones and all these great Christmas songs that I've gotten over. Of course, the Pogues, the best Christmas song. And there's all
Yeah.
these songs, and I will not listen to them, and I refuse to listen to them until December. Like
Yeah.
I just won't do it. If they come on, I'll just freak out and I'll go, get it off there.
What
And
about
so
the
I
day
can't be
after? What about
watching
the
A
day
Christmas Story.
after Thanksgiving? It's kind of like the official.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, my rule is no listening to Christmas music until December 1st, unless you happen to be decorating for Christmas. Then you.
Well,
can
then how
push
far
it.
does that go after Christmas? When do you stop
After
listening?
Thanksgiving? It's really just that week.
No, but I mean, like, you only listen during the week of Thanksgiving?
No, I'm saying
All right.
you can listen to Christmas music before December, but only if you are in the midst of decorating for Christmas.
Right. But no, but then I'm saying, how far does that go on the other end? Like, once Christmas comes and goes, then how long are you allowed to listen to Christmas music?
Well,
Do they
after
have to
Christmas
stop?
goes, there's no hard date. There's no hard out, if you will.
No.
But
Not to
there's
New Year's.
to me there's a thing where I go, you know what? I didn't hear this one enough times. Like I kept missing it or something. I love that Waitress's song, and I didn't
yeah.
hear it enough times this time. I only heard it like 8 times. I wanted to hear it 12 times, and so
Right.
I'll play that a little bit as I'm driving around or something. But it kind of fades out pretty quickly after
Yeah.
Christmas.
My son
Certainly
a few
gone.
years ago, like, was having a hard time letting go of Christmas, and he's like, "Hey, can we just keep listening to Christmas music?" And it was like, mid-January maybe. And I was like, "No, sorry, I love
That's-
you. I want you to have a nice time, but no."
That
Shit's
is
got to
great.
stop.
I
Yeah.
love to hear that, Tom.
It's the time and
Because
the
you're
place.
going, this is what makes things special. You gotta leave yourself wanting more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't just listen to it all year long. It'll be Christmas time, and they'll be like, "Ugh, could I please listen to, I don't know, Kraftwerk or something? Why do I have to
Right.
listen to Christmas carols again? What is this, August?"
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a natural order to things, son.
So he
Might as
wants
well
his
learn that
BB. He
now.
wants his BB gun, obviously. So he goes in again back to the parents' room where the 2 beds are.
Yeah.
And so he puts the ad in the paper in in his mom's magazine. Do you remember what magazine that was?
That's Look Magazine.
Right. So there's a famous person who was the youngest
I know this one.
photographer. Because you looked it up during the break,
No.
didn't you? When
I know
we
everything
lost the
about
feed.
this person.
Yeah,
Bob
but you did.
Puccioni.
No, and that's so it's he was the youngest photographer for Look Magazine. Who was he, Dan?
And you know that I know everything about this person.
I know.
I've
Rodney
read
Dangerfield.
I've read both of the biographies, the big ones.
No one's going to tell me who it is, are they?
On the good side, you
Well-
should know this, Tom, because you and
I should?
you should know
Yeah.
this.
Steven Spielberg.
He started
One of these-
started his career, and he was famous for his ability to understand and
Take pictures?
deconstruct and take apart cameras and use to pick the right camera for
Stanley Kubrick.
Yes,
That's right.
Tom, I gave you
look at
enough.
that.
Yes.
That's right.
So it's an interesting that the magazine
It's
and he had very like New York style photographs. He took a lot of photographs of like shoe shine boys and like circus freaks and
Boxers.
stuff. Yeah, and like boxers and like that kind of were the precursors for some of his early films, like The Killing and Killer's Kiss. Very.
Can I say something about can I just declare one of my favorite actors of all time and the Ted Knight of The Christmas Story?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Darren McGavin.
He is the Ted Knight of this movie.
He is the greatest actor, this guy. I love him.
And that's not just saying that he's like great and Ted Knight's great. There is a Ted Knight-like quality to his performance in this movie.
Right.
Like the almost cartoonish range of emotions that he goes through, but none of it comes off as like fakey or over the top or anything. It's all oh my God. He's like a human being, but he's a vastly multifaceted human being.
He's wonderful. He plays it with real gusto too,
Yeah. Yeah, and understated gusto too. Now, how the hell did you know that? How the hell did she know that Victor was the name of the Lone Ranger's nephew's horse?
Right. Terror of the Midway. I love him. I love him so much. He was great in this. He was great in every movie he ever was in. Just one of these unheralded actors that was like, in fact, outclassing just about everybody he was ever in a movie with. He's so good in The Natural, other movies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're a loser.
He's probably a good guy too.
I'll bet he was. I'm just going to go ahead and say that he was.
There's scenes like in the scene where like they're obviously like playing it up and stuff, like when he Ralphie's fantasy thing of being all right, Black Bart, now you get yours.
Yeah,
and they're like cowering under the table. He's having a ball. He's having the time of his life under there. He's got the coonskin hat and everything. He's like, Black Bart's gang. Yeah.
And he comes in all pissed off because the Sox traded Bullfrog. The only player they got for Schottenhoffer.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Four Eyes Schottenhoffer.
Oh my God, I love that.
Got a whole goddamn team of utility infielders. That's nice, dear.
Is he talking about the White Sox or the Cubs, you think?
No, you said Sox.
Oh, it was Sox, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It would be if you're down in Hammond area, you're going to be a Sox fan.
Yeah, it's all Sox fan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that. Not really. Oh, we got Melinda Dillon. We got to give Melinda Dillon props. She's
Also
in Close
great.
Encounters. She's great.
She's a really good actress too.
Does her hair in this movie seem like it's from? This is the 40s, right? Or is it the 30s?
40s.
The 40s, yeah.
Yeah, it's the 40s.
Late 40s.
This doesn't strike me as a 40s hairdo. It's very frizzy.
Did you notice?
puffy.
But you notice there's a correlation between this movie and Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Oh, I know what it is.
What's the one thing that two
got
characters
it.
play with? What?
Mashed potatoes.
That's right.
Oh my God, you're good.
Yeah.
The little boy's playing with the mashed potatoes, and then he starts building the mountain of the mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Right. I think, yeah.
Give me 3 quavers followed by a half a quaver. That's amazing. Yeah, and then God, I forgot his name again. Ralphie and who? I always forget the brother's name.
Randy.
Randy.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
I did the same thing when I was trying to tell that he's playing with his mashed potatoes.
Yeah, there's a scene where Randy it's sunburned on one side of his face, and then he's like building a giant thing out of clay in his living room, and
Right.
there are a lot of correlations between the two movies.
Randy, my brother Randy lay there like a slug. It was his only defense. There are so many ways. It's such a well-written movie. It's just
and there I am with that stupid round face and stocking hat.
Yeah.
It's skipping ahead, but why is it so funny when kids are suffering in movies? Like, Randy's like got the full 7-layer suit on and thing, and he can't move his arms, and she unwraps his face like, "Can't move my arms," and she just kind of gives up on him and starts rewrapping his head while he's screaming and crying, and that's hysterical.
She's overly protective of him, and Ralphie doesn't give a shit about what he's wearing.
That's right.
He has
but even if she's trying to
jacket.
protect him, she's also like, whatever. And she's just wrapping him up again.
They're so hapless, and also I think a little bit of and they're annoying. So a little bit, we want them to suffer a little bit. We get a little bit of Schadenfreude, I believe, from watching a kid suffer a little bit.
Yeah.
And knowing that there's no real suffering happening allows us to go ahead and enjoy it.
I think, you know what? I think I do this in real life too. When I hear like a kid crying and I know it's because that the rock fell over or something, or they dropped a thing,
something
it's nothing,
of no consequence.
Right. I always think that's a little bit funny.
Yeah, I think it is funny.
That kid's miserable. My friend Jerry Porter and I, if we're ever in a restaurant and we hear a kid crying, we just sit there and just start lip syncing with it, and just like throwing our heads back and wailing along with the kid. And it's not a nice thing to do, but it's very funny.
Oh, best friend Jerry Porter, there it is.
Yeah, you want to go up to the kid and say, "Boy, you kid, you don't know fucking suffering yet."
Yeah. Oh, your dad's going to get you another popsicle, but there's going to be a time.
Just wait. Oh boy, you just wait.
You don't know. Oh,
I
hotter
know.
than any flame of human fire.
I know.
Oh, I know.
What magazine,
When I was when my daughter was young and she'd sit in the car seat in the back, I would be driving around and I would go off on just saying things that make no sense. Just rattling things off when I'm talking to myself in the car.
Yeah,
Sure.
And one day she just kept, and she would just repeat it over and over. She'd be like, I know, I know. And I realized that I was doing the I know, but I would keep repeating it over and over again until it got like cartoonish. I know. And I think it was during that time when I got laid off and I was stay-at-home dad for like a year and a half or so, about 2 years. Mm-hmm. And I was just drive around like a madman all day trying to.
Oh my God!
I'd circle the classifieds in the morning and then we'd go about our business.
I know.
I go, I know. Oh, I know. Hotter than any flame of human. I know.
Does it really make a man good?
Good. I think he's we talked about this in one of the later minutes of Caddyshack. Is the prison Charlie was one of the heroes of that film.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
had a conscience.
He's the voice of. He basically is there. He gets into the whole theme of the movie. He's the one who's
a human being.
The theme. Yeah. You got to choose.
God, I'm just seeing that Randy, by the way, he's like laughing and stuff at the table, and his glass of whatever is knocked over, but it's filled exactly to the point where it's not spilling. Oh. His glass is vertical, but the fluid is just low enough that it can stay inside the sort of contour of the glass.
Yeah,
I don't really care.
It's incredible.
Does that make you nervous or?
Doesn't
no,
really do
just
anything
I'm more impressed than nervous.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little calculated, maybe a little fakey, but it's impressive.
Bum, 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 bum.
You know the story. I mean, it's he wants the BB gun. He feels like he's not gonna get it, and it's this hopeless thing, and he's pushing for it. And they tell him he's gonna shoot his eye out.
Yeah,
which is very funny, of course.
He's trying to work it into conversation, but then it just comes out. He just blurts it out to his mom.
But really, it's about capturing the kind of feel of being a 10-year-old kid and really wanting something, and also trying to enjoy Christmas and your little world that has your friends in it that encompasses everything. And it ranges from like moments of complete terror being chased down by a bully to like 5 minutes later being comfortable in front of the crackle of the radio.
Well, and also it's also the obsessions. Like you have these focus like obsessions, like he did with the waiting for the decoder ring.
Mm-hmm.
So every day would start. He'd be running home, and that's all that he was thinking about.
Yeah.
But the minute it wasn't there, it would shut off, and the obsession would switch to something else.
Yeah, you just couldn't wait.
Right.
Every day, and every day seemed like this eternity.
Yeah. But then even
And now
when
they just
when
fly by like it's nothing.
it just goes flying like you know. It was like that right before you turn, like when you turned 15, and you got I picked out the car I wanted, and I bought a calendar with that car in it, and you would just cross out every day.
This one would look great in my parents' kitchen.
Yeah, we covered that already. That's all done and said.
Yeah.
At least the first third of this one would look great.
Call
You
back
bastard.
business.
You bastard.
You son of a bitch.
You son of a fuck. That's like, it's like a comedian who's ending with a joke he told in the beginning of the. Night, everybody. He would reference a joke. Been a great crowd, thank you. He would end with a joke that referencing a joke that he told earlier, or he or she. I should be gender neutral on this.
No,
He or she told a joke earlier in the set. You reference that joke at the very end.
Yeah.
Callback.
Yeah.
And then you immediately say, "Been a great crowd. Good night, everybody."
Yeah, everybody.
Why do stand-up comedians always end their sets like just an absolutely random, like they just tell the last joke and it's done. There's no like wrap up. There's no sort of sense of closure.
Yeah, it just ends. Because
it just ends.
It's like
it just ends.
You're busy with the
jokes.
material and the jokes. You're not really thinking about this arc generally that you need to follow,
I
right?
guess.
Well, because you end with a punchline. You don't want to go any further than that.
Yeah.
But you think,
you
that
wanna hit with the
last
punch-
joke, that last punchline could be some kind of wrapping up of something.
No, it's because you got everybody laughing. You don't want to say, "Okay, thanks. Hey, I just wanted to say that this has been a great time." No.
But you
end it.
No, you end it on a joke, obviously, but that joke could be the culmination of something. It could be the ending of something. It could be a conclusion, not just like the last joke.
Right. Well, you usually have one that works pretty well.
Yeah.
And that's your finisher. And you're going to get you're very confident you'll get a laugh on that one. So that's the one you go with. But you're right that it's not a big, a lot of times it is a callback, like Mike says.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I don't know. I just want things to make sense.
Yeah.
They all do make sense. You don't have to overanalyze things. Especially with jokes. You and jokes don't mix very well because we have to overanalyze them.
Jokes hate me.
Oh.
Speaking of, I never Ralphie blurts out the gun that he wants, and I have never understood word for word what he says, so I actually looked it up. I'm overanalyzing this joke. I want an official Red Ryder carbine action 200 shot range model air rifle, which of course he immediately follows up with ooh.
Oh, like I blew it. I was not subtle enough to. I didn't slowly plant the seed with the subtle insinuation.
She tricked me.
Yeah, I love that. Ooh.
Am I the only one here who saw this movie in the theater? By the way.
No, I saw it in the theater.
Oh, did you really?
No, I didn't. Yeah.
I thought I recognized you.
There.
I thought I was the only one because this movie, flopped hard when it came out.
My parents were too cheap. It flopped, this movie? You gotta be kidding
Oh yeah.
me. God, people are idiots. They don't know what movies to go to.
No, they really don't.
Oh,
They're dummies.
That's ridiculous. Huh.
Yeah.
I envy you
It's
guys
due.
having seen this in the theater.
What year was this again?
83, 4?
83. 83.
Same year as the
Stanford
toy.
Town Center in Stamford, Connecticut.
Nobody cares.
Same year as the toy, I think. Richard Pryor.
Oh, is it?
I think so.
Well, it's also got what's his name? Scott Schwartz? Is that his name?
Yeah. Little redhead kid.
Yeah.
Scott Farkas.
Kind of looks like Flick. Yeah, looks a little like Flick.
I think this was the same year. You might be right.
I think it was the same
toy.
year.
I
'Cause
barely remember the
it's
toy.
weird because I have memories of seeing both with my dad, so I think it had to be the same year. Yeah. Because I think we only went to 2 movies, and it was that year. So that was a genius movie. The toy.
The toy?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know.
Jackie Gleason, Richard Pryor. What do you want,
Yeah.
son? I want a black man. Can't pull that shit nowadays. What do you want, you rich prick? I want you to get me a black man. That one
Play
over
with.
there. Yeah. And then we become best of friends. It's a great movie.
Be heartwarming. I didn't think you could make a movie about a kid who wants a gun anymore.
And Jackie Gleason's name was U.S. And they kept calling him U.S.
U.S.
I get it.
Oh, you love that, huh?
Richard Pryor did not make very many good movies. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that.
Yeah, he didn't.
Yeah,
It's true.
well, except for Silver Streak and
Stir Crazy.
Stir Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's two
Yeah.
winners right
Brewster's
there.
Millions not good.
No, I don't like Brewster's
I've never seen
Millions.
Brewster's Millions, but I
'Cause
can't
you know
imagine
why?
that it's good.
You know why I don't like it? Because John Candy's not a catcher.
He's not a major league catcher, and he's
He's not a minor league catcher.
not even
I'm sorry.
for the
I don't
Cubs
buy
at the time.
No, I don't buy that one for a second. The Hackensack Bulls.
Then
John Candy's not a catcher.
One thing on the Cubs, oh, maybe I have that wrong, but yeah, there's no way he's a catcher in any kind of professional league.
No. No.
He looked like Babe Ruth when Babe Ruth was, 48 years old or something. After he
I'll
retired.
tell you what, though. I think, that's pretty much it.
Do
for his
nothing but
movies.
sit around eating ham sandwiches. That one's not good, but then there's also, let's see, See No Evil, Hear No Evil, which is sort of they're trying to cash in on the Stir Crazy thing.
Yeah, sort of a late period.
Not that bad. I mean, there's a couple of
Wilder,
good jokes in
Pryor.
that one.
Sure.
I do love the late.
What do you think
both
of-
them? Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor.
when the newscaster or the news interviewer puts the microphone and says, "What do you think of Ayatollah Khomeini and what he's doing?" I don't know what you're talking about, but a good comedy, as you call it, is worth its weight in gold.
Right.
Because he's deaf. You get it, Tom? He can't hear.
I get it. I'm with
Because
you.
he goes, a good comedy, as you call it, is worth its weight in gold. The Ayatollah Khomeini.
All right.
Mike remembers a lot of random stuff from a lot of random movies.
I wonder if we're gonna have trivia, huh?
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
I don't
guess
give a
now
shit
we
about
are.
it. There is no trivia. We're done with
No.
that. That was a one-trick pony.
Don't
You
say
Cut
it.
the
have
music
Christmas
off.
Story trivia? You got Christmas Story trivia?
Like, we could just
Come up
steal it
with
from
something.
online.
Yeah,
Oh, you know what? I have a great question. I just have to find the
Is
answer
that
to it.
kosher?
Hang on.
To just steal it from online? Didn't that what?
I don't know.
Isn't that what Tom did when he couldn't find the cards when his wife hid them?
Doesn't have to be
Oh, that's
kosher. It's
right.
Christmas.
When Jody hid the cards and then tried to pretend like she didn't. You remember?
Yeah. Wait a minute.
What time
Wait a
does Higbee's close?
Here's my excellent question. I've not pulled this question from the internet. I just only confirmed the answer on the internet. Okay, Scott Schwartz plays, what? Is he Flick in this movie?
Yeah.
Is he Flick or is he,
I think he's
I forget their
it's
Flick.
names.
Flick.
Schwartz. Isn't
Okay.
his name Schwartz?
No,
Oh,
that's
jeez,
Flick.
it might be.
Isn't
Anyway,
it,
he's the kid who sticks his tongue on the pole and it gets frozen there.
yeah.
Oh, he is Flick. Okay, he's Flick. It says right here. What is the name of the 1996 X-rated film that he starred in?
What what is the name of the 1990? He was in X-rated films?
1990 X-rated film that he starred in.
Oh my goodness.
This is a very a behind, true Hollywood, whatever, behind the music kind of, they would have all these specials about Scotty Schwartz, the darling kid from the toy, and A Christmas Story, and how he fell on hard times and was appearing in
Fell on hard
hideous
something.
sex adventures.
Yeah.
Did I say
tell us,
1990? It's
Tom.
1996.
So I just
I'm
have to
sorry.
come up with a name of a porn film, that whether I know it or not.
I doubt you would know the film, but if you were a true Christmas Story fan,
Yeah.
you would know the name
Or a porn fan.
of flicks. Yeah, or a porn fan. Yeah, you get that Venn diagram overlaps in just the right way, and you can
Right.
figure out the name of Scotty Schwartz.
Interestingly, though, I did look up. I did look up who played whom, and Scott Schwartz plays Flick, and
Yeah.
R.D. Robb plays Schwartz.
What?
That why? So on
crazy.
set, if they say Schwartz, did they get confused? Hey, Schwartz.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. I don't remember. I don't know the name of the X-rated film. Yeah.
It was called Scotty's X-Rated Adventure. Thank you.
Scotty's.
And that was
I
trivia.
wonder if his Schwartz got twisted.
Oh, no. I hope not.
Could have
May
been.
the Schwartz be with you.
I see your Schwartz is as big as mine.
Oh.
Dark helmet.
Oh, dear.
All right. Well,
All right.
thanks,
listen.
everybody.
Is that
Can we,
it?
I mean,
We're
I
done?
can't do this all night. I mean, I haven't eaten.
No, I'm here. I'm with you. Well, look, we made it through like breakfast, most of breakfast. When you come back next time, we're gonna find out what the heck is wrong with the furnace downstairs.
It's September and it
other
doesn't
stuff.
feel Christmassy to me, and it just annoys me.
I
I
understand.
might take next week
I
off.
understand.
You guys just do it.
All right.
This bores me.
This bores me.
Play some
I'm
basketball.
fatigued.
I like to play with things for a while. What movie is that from?
Jesus.
Say it again.
I'm gonna make up a line from a
Before
made-up movie and ask you guys
Annihilation?
the same question. Jesus.
Max von Sydow. There's your clue.
Strange Brew?
I like to play with things for a while.
I want it to be Strange Brew. Just say it's Strange Brew.
No.
Max von Sydow.
Got Queen did the
It's either
music.
that or The Exorcist. What?
Queen did the music.
Oh, you know what? Flash Gordon, I've never
Flash
seen.
Gordon.
I've never seen
it's
Flash
bad,
Gordon.
man.
Flash.
You, let me tell you
I
something.
believe it.
That song is so cool. Flash. Oh, he'll save every one of us. It's such a cool, and you want it to be good, and the movie just sucks.
Yeah.
Just sucks. It does. It does. I wouldn't do the Flash.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Into the Flash Gordon minute.
Okay.
Hey, listen.
Hey, listen.
Wait, listen.
All right. Yeah, you're going to get more of this next time.
Flash.
It's just the beginning of our Christmas story romp for the holiday season. You guys are digesting your turkey legs and your mashed potatoes that you're playing with as a Close Encounters reference and a Christmas story reference. All right. But please join us next time for whatever the show is called. Now that's not the Caddyshack Minute anymore. Here on whatever that show is.
Hey, you scratched my ankle.